Welcome to another episode of Reliance Real Estate Radio. And here's your hosts, Jeff Nevin and Joseph Singsheim.
Are you busy, guys? Don't mistake movement for achievement.
Yeah, that's a great idea for a podcast.
I think so.
I guess we should just dive right in because that's the idea for our podcast. Make sure you guys have a clear vision and for the future and a purpose, right? Be fully committed to whatever you're doing and that you set out to do or plan to do, right? This will propel you forward. Everybody makes mistakes. We won't cut those out. We got to learn from them.
That's right.
We got to learn how to talk.
Yeah. Read a book.
Read a book or two. But this will actually propel you forward utilizing your goals, your action plan, implementing your business plan, which we'll get into further, having a mission and a vision. And these are all great things that we'll discuss and talk about and have future podcasts and videos on, but that's just not enough.
Right, exactly. And Joe was talking about the business plan. It's very important that you start that business plan right now, especially when we're looking for 2020. It's right around the corner. Don't get yourself all up in the hustle and bustle of the holidays. Next thing you know, it's going to be Christmas. After Christmas, it's New Year's Eve, and then there you are, 2020. If you don't have that starting now, you're going to start 2020 behind, and you definitely don't want that.
Yeah, you have to have stuff in the books now. You have to be, like Jeff said, don't get caught up into what's going on. Make sure you're actually scheduling things in between those events.
They actually say for 2020, you need to be about 30% already
booked
in production for 2020 to hit your goal. And if that doesn't scare you, it should.
Yeah. I mean, you have to be willing to take consistent action right now, or you'll end up chasing your tail. And ensure that you're learning from past failures. So past years, we're looking at business plans over the past 2 years, seeing trends so we can adapt to those, right?
Yep.
We're looking at daily, weekly, yearly, and past 2 years to see if we can figure things out. And ensure you're learning from those. Fail forward, fail often is the key coined phrase, I guess. And then make sure you're taking action and you're showering daily in that action. And what I mean by that is you're watching a video or a podcast or reading a book. Utilize us if you can, or somebody else that motivates you for that matter. But just make sure you're adding knowledge and learning every day.
Absolutely. And that keeps you motivated every day to make sure that you hit your goals, which you want to ensure that you have a daily roadmap that leads you to your business goals every day. It could be your 135, which we could talk about at some point. It could be just your daily to-do list, but it's got to be
311.
The 311, absolutely.
They're all different things we could do podcast videos on for you guys.
Yep, absolutely, and we could dive into that.
Yeah,
for sure if you guys are interested. But make sure that you're doing stuff that's going to reach your goals.
Yeah, it's going to propel you right to your business plan. It's going to match up with it and coincide, right?
Yep.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Revel in the accomplishment. We just said, learn from your mistakes and fail forward. But if you're not celebrating even the smallest of wins, like somebody actually picking their phone up and talking to you, or having that meeting that you just didn't think was going to happen and then it happened, you have to make sure even the smallest wins are wins in your mind and you're actually celebrating those. It's easy to get caught up in being busy, so those things are going to separate, like, oh, I had a failure, how do I learn from it? And you're going to stop. Or like Jeff called for a 5-second funeral the other day because he had something that was very upsetting and he had to deal with, right? And it was like, I just need to take a 5-second funeral and then jump back in. So, you get caught up being busy, and those are the breaks that you get to take in between, kind of reset, reframe, and move forward, right? Do you have time blocks set up? Do you actually have it in your calendar, right? Because if it's not in your calendar,
it's not happening.
It's not happening.
We actually have that. So outside of our door, we have a little whiteboard that we do some motivational messages, and that's actually what Joe put on there today. That's pretty funny that was brought up. But like you said, you want to time block your daily routine.
Right.
Focus on your 80-20. I know you've probably heard me mention that all the time. And why do I say that, Joe?
Because 20% of what you're doing equals the rest of the 80% of your business, I believe, right? Is that what it means?
Yep, absolutely. So, for us, it's prospecting. For us, it's lead gen. Funny, I look up to Elon Musk because he's basically running 3 businesses, and it's crazy how he does it. And he time blocks his day in 5-minute increments. It's a little crazy for me. I won't do that, but we do about 30-minute increments
Or an hour.
of time blocks,
Yeah.
or an hour.
Right.
But it keeps you on track,
Mhm.
and it keeps you focused on that one task, whether it's your time block for a half hour, 5 minutes, hour, whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, are you, right, chasing emails and tasks, or are you owning the hour? Or is the hour owning you? Are you endlessly scrolling social media? Are you doing stuff you're not supposed to do? Are they not dollar productive tasks? So, Jeff, what are some dollar producing tasks that maybe real estate agents, business people, or even like family, if you want to talk about your family, what kind of tasks can we do that are actually dollar productive or productive in that matter?
Yeah. For business, it's gonna be your lead gen, your marketing, your networking, stuff like that. Those are your dollar productive stuff that you can't get away from. And this is where we talk about, are you busy? Because
Right.
anybody can be busy chasing emails, stuff like that, going on social media, thinking you're busy throughout the day, but in reality, are you?
Right. I mean, just to get this podcast video done, we've had to time block to make the marketing material for it. We had a time block to come up with the ad copy and the idea. Then we had a time block to actually go through it so we could create the verbiage between Jeff and I so we could actually come across as we know what we're talking about. Then we had to set up the lighting. We had to make sure we had the sign on the door. We had to close our office door so we protected that time block so nobody walks in. These are all things that we have to do to ensure that we can bring content to you, I guess, professionally and actually get it out to the world through video and podcast. So I know we said it's don't mistake movement for achievement, and we actually the person that coined that phrase was Jim Rohn, and he said don't mistake movement for achievement. It's easy to get faked out by being busy. The question is, what are you busy doing? So we're going to pose that question to you if you want to drop it in any way, social media form, or send an email to us, anything like that. It's time to make note of what you're actually doing busy of. So get out a piece of paper and let's see what you're actually busy doing during the day, because we can show you our time block and it'll show you exactly what we're doing hour for hour, not minute for minute. We're not Elon Musk, but we'll get you there. Make sure that those tasks are actually getting you to where you want to be in 2020.
Exactly. Focus on the dollar productive. 30% of your business or your production needs to be already booked in 2020. So like Joe was saying, make sure, mark how long you've been on social media. You'd be surprised how long you've kind of wasted time.
All right, until next time, hit us up on social media or send us an email.
Thanks everybody. Have a good one.
See you later.